As you can tell, this is not my usual setup. Bear with me if you hear the wind. It's a beautiful lake breeze. The sun is setting. You can hear geese. It's beautiful. Today is a Monday. And out of nowhere, I decided it's beautiful out. If you guys are from Toronto, there was a heat wave the last 2 days, feeling like 47 degrees. It was hot, sauna hot. I was dying. And I was like, you know what? I want to have a beach day. In a 30-minute span, I got my stuff ready. I got my man. Someone else came and we literally just went out. We went out to the island that is right beside Toronto. It's called Center Island. I don't even know. But we went to the island and we had a nice beach day, got some content done, did a call for the team, and lived my life. I got to read more of my book and overall relaxed. I was extremely grateful because I made money in the markets this morning and spent the rest of the day doing what I wanted. That's the pure definition of freedom, being able to do what you want with who you want for how long that you want. It doesn't mean that you don't have responsibilities. It just means that if I want to go and do all my work from the beach and go fishing for the rest of the night, I can do that. There's no one I need to ask. I don't need to worry about tomorrow. I actually think it was beneficial because there's a lot of people that were supposed to do the 75-day hard with me. And there are people that have told me that they want to do this type of challenge before. They always end up going 1, 2, 3 days and then they fuck up and then they're like, ah, shit, and they lose motivation. The point is to find your little wins and use those to build momentum. One of the 75-day hard challenges I gave myself was journaling every single day. That was my favorite thing so far. I have learned so much about my thought process, how to improve my emotional intelligence. It's a great tool to analyze my prior days. And I don't know why I didn't do it before, because when I was focusing on my entrepreneurship business and really focusing on scaling, I was a sucker for track everything. Track how many people you talk to, track how many posts you make, track how many messages actually got back to you, track how many calls you're getting on. I tracked everything. And that's what really helped me scale because I learned where I can improve, what I don't need to change. I learned a lot by getting a bird's eye view. So I want to talk about your trading game. I know a lot of y'all are not journaling. And even if you are, you're probably not doing it properly. Your journal is for you. It's not just data. It's to learn your habits, your edge, everything about trading. Start viewing your journaling as a mirror. It's you versus the markets, you versus your ego. Those are hard battles for you to take. And having to battle them at the same time is even more hard, but it doesn't mean that you can't have victory. I was actually talking about this with somebody that I mentor, and we were talking about how you will ask successful people, how did they get their results? How do they have their lifestyle? How did they get so successful? They'll usually tell you something that is extremely doable, something very small, and it usually lets people down because they're like, oh, what's the answer? No, like, tell me. It makes you feel like they're trying to hide something from you. They'll be like, I get up at 5 and meditate, eat a healthy diet, and I make sure to get enough sleep, practice gratitude. I take 1 hour a day to do A, B, C. Obviously, success is not a one size fits all. I don't know one successful trader that will tell you to not journal and collect your data. They're all saying the same thing for a reason. Usually, the reason why people are not successful is when successful people tell them what they're doing, they don't want to do it. They're like, yeah, no, that little thing can definitely not make a difference in my life, when actually it can. Y'all need to stop searching for answers and start listening to what you have in front of you. It is possible to have too much information and overcomplicate things. Simplicity is key. You don't need to learn 4 different strategies. Just make sure you're doing the basics correctly. Risk management, journal, work on yourself. Trading is a self-development game. I'm going to quickly help you with the basics of journaling, and then I'm going to go hopefully catch a bass before nighttime. I'm going to teach you about the 3 method. I want you to do this every day. No excuse, takes 3 minutes. First, write down 3 things that went well. What were you pleased with during this trading session? Second, 3 things that you could have done better or improve next session. That's going to be the basics of your actual improving when it comes to journaling. But one thing I do, and I'll actually attach a picture, that is me backtesting oil. I use OneNote, by the way, and I'll include a picture of the news that day, the charts, the setup and bias I'm seeing. I'll ask myself, was my bias correct? Where did I think it was going to go? Was it following standard deviation? If you don't trade that, don't worry. Maybe you're a supply and demand trader. Maybe you use trend lines. Have your indicators on and be like, it crossed this line. Have some sort of template following your playbook, what you want to see every day with trading. Just a yes or no or a simple 1-word answer, so you can have that in front of you. Finally, a small description of how that trade went. Did I place a trade? Did I see an entry? Was my bias correct? What did I notice? What happened? Just anything I think I need to know. Below that, in my notes, I will also include my external factors. Am I going through something? Was I good in my mindset before going in? Am I dealing with shit outside of trading causing bad emotions? If so, I shouldn't be trading. If I am, and I notice every single time that I trade when I'm having a bad mental day, I'm losing, that's a cue when I read my notes going, maybe I should stop doing that. I feel like that's a huge thing people forget is you're human, not a robot. The whole point of emotional intelligence when it comes to trading is not feeling emotions. It's knowing how to process them and live with them. Use them as a strength rather than a weakness. If you really want to take this shit seriously, sit down once a week for 20 minutes, analyze your past week's notes, write another entry, and just what did you notice? I do this every day, every week, every month, and every quarter. I do a big yearly setup where I plan my year and look over the past year, but that's a whole other thing. Before you call me out and go, Megan, this isn't going to help me with trading. This isn't going to help me make any money. Try it for 1 week, 7 days, give it your all. Place your trades, but sit down for 10 minutes and write out your stuff every morning. If you trade, I trade New York AM morning time. If you trade Asia session, do it at night. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments. If you have any topics you want me to cover, also leave them in the comments. I do want to help you guys. I wanted to extend something that's really helped me in my personal development journey. I'm sick and tired of I'm over here living life and I have my small circle around me, but there's people that I care about that don't understand what kind of matrix they're in and how they actually have the power to save themselves. I'm not better than you. I'm just putting my time learning skills that allow me to do this. I don't think a doctor is better than me, only in the sense that they went to school to be a doctor, so they have more medical advice. I remember I've worked every job under the sun: retail, serving, security. I worked all these jobs where there was days I just didn't want to go to work. There were days I wanted to enjoy the sun. I'm glad that I no longer have to answer to anybody else. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Okay. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, if you found any value. Leave any questions or topics in the comment sections. I read them all. I definitely want to help you out with your trading journey. Take a look at this beautiful view. My man over here is fishing, catching pips, catching fish. But look at that. I love it when Toronto's super far away from me. Remember, you are savage, not average, and I'll see you on the next YouTube. Bye.